Yeah.
So, hello everyone. Today I just got back from a conference or from a function, a college function. If you're in college, you understand what I'm talking about. You sign up to go to these leadership conferences, or I don't know, bold conferences. I don't know what colleges, what your college in particular holds, but they kind of help you along with learning how to meet and greet, network, different things like that. They have guest speakers and different types of functions they hold to help you along the business creating process, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Well, I got back from one of those things, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I liked it. Then again, I was late to the conference, to the function, so I didn't get to really see the whole thing. It was 5 hours long, so you can understand why I was kind of elated that I wasn't exactly on time. But yes, go there. About 5 hours later, I was there for the last 30 minutes of it, and they had a speaker, and she was talking about dead fish, the dead fish handshake, and that you have to shake the hand of the person firmly, and all those different things. So it was some pretty good information, but kind of information I've heard before. Um, you know, um, the things that I really enjoyed about the conference was that we got they gave us these little cards, and it had like your business information on it. They had made it from the information that we gave them when we were registering for the conference. I thought it was pretty neat. And we went around giving people our pretend business cards and shaking people's hands, networking. It had your email on it. So I thought it was pretty cool. That's something new. But all in all, that going to that conference today made me think of 10 things I cannot stand about college functions. Because they just need this needs to be talked about. It just really does. So 10 things. Starting off, the first thing I can't really stand about college functions is that they're almost always at night. I don't like having functions at night that we're late to business. I know that sounds like who's like that, but when it's really late at night, 9, 10, or 11, or 12, I want to be in my bed. So if you have something scheduled at that time for me to go and talk to people, it's like, ugh, or super early in the morning. But I'd rather have a super early in the morning conference than to have one super late at night. Um, so a lot of times these conferences are held at night, and they it takes up a lot of time, 6 to 8, 6 to 9, 6 to 10, and you're talking and talking and talking and networking, all these different things. But when you get home, you're tired, you're exhausted. You're in college still, so it's still either it's a weekday or a weeknight, or and you have to get home, you have to do homework and shower and get ready to go to class tomorrow. So especially if you have an 8 o'clock class or 9 o'clock class or 10 o'clock class, it can be cumbersome. So that's the first thing. Um, Number two, they're almost always too long. Yes, I said it. I went there. It's just too long. Any information you can tell me. I was joking about this with somebody. If you're not teaching me how to be Steve Jobs or to be the next Oprah, then it really doesn't need to be that long, because there's only a couple bits and pieces of information that's new on the market that you can be telling me to go snag that new happy job that's going to make me those millions. So they shorten it down, make it concise, make it something that I would want to utilize or be able to utilize, because there's not really too much new information. Wear a tie, suit, you know, eating etiquette, all these different things. So it was too long, honestly. Number three, the guest speakers are long-winded. Yes, they are. I don't know about you guys, but the Y generation, we have a hard time with paying attention to things. You're not really with it. You're not really going fast, or your speech is too stuttery or too slow or too like talks like this, kind of like monotone. And a lot of times they get these speakers who are really successful in the business world, but they're too boring and they're long-winded, and it's just like, ugh, really. And so everyone starts taking out their phone, which we all know is disrespectful, but at the end of the day, a lot of people drove here to get to this thing. A lot of people are dropping certain events to get to this thing. Don't be boring. If you're gonna be a guest speaker, at least know how to speak in front of all these bodies of children, because although we're not an adult, of not children, okay, well, college students. Although we're not adults, we kind of are adults, and so we think about those things when we see you. Moving on. Number 4, the food. Oh my gosh. This is a biggie. They always advertise on these things that the food is going to be there, that we're going to have food. They don't specify what type of food or how much. They said there's going to be food. Because we're all starving and none of us have food and we're all broke in college, we all rush to the door to get food. Because when you say spread to a college student, that's like saying there's a $50 million chance of you getting $50 million. Or I don't know. Just go. Pretty much is what that says. Food me equals I'm going. So when you go and there's like, crackers and some cheese, we're upset because we're hungry. We haven't eaten. All of us are trying to skip and save and not get those meal plans. So stop telling us there's food when there's no food. Stop. Okay. Number 5, sorry. They're always on the weekends or during free time or like during the weekday. I think I said this already, but I want to go in more when I say this. Weekends are my time off. Like, I say I'm going to do homework, but that's not the truth. I'm not going to do homework. I want to sleep. That's what that means. I do not want to travel all the way because I live a ways off of, I don't live on campus. For students who do live on campus, yay, but I don't. So, like, if I'm going to go somewhere to the school on the weekends, which I don't want to, it better be special. And if I go there and it's long-winded and it's boring and there's no food, I'm upset because I don't want to waste my time. Number 6, they're always free. It's free to students, right? And like $5 to the public. No, it's not free. We paid for it with our tuition. You better go to these events because at the end of the day, you paid for it previously. So I feel like that's always deceptive. Stop telling us it's free. It's not free. Yeah, and it's just not. Those events aren't free. And the food should be way more happen with how expensive tuition is today. You guys should be giving us lobster with the tuition we're giving you. Like, at least feed us. Number 7, you feel guilty if you don't go. I don't know why, but they always make you feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't go. Like, and they always make the name of the event so sexy that you feel like, oh gosh, I should have attended. Maybe they would have said something awesome. No, you probably didn't miss out on much. Like, really. Number 8, you wait so long just to hear those little tidbits of information that could have been practical or useful in your career life or your real life in general. More likely, the event is really long-winded, reiterated information, redundant information, and there's not too much new stuff that they're going to tell you that's going to keep you like wanting to using that information. So those are always little tidbits of information that's going to be like applicable to you. But you waited 4 hours to hear that little tidbit. You know what I'm saying? You could have just talking to somebody in their office and probably gotten that same tidbit of information for like 5-10 minutes. So there's that. Number 9, they never get well-known speakers. The speakers are always like off somewhere from a different place, like in Ohio or somewhere else, and it's just like, I don't know you, Like, if they were to get Ellen in there, we would all sign up. Not for the food, not just for the food, because food's always included, trust me. But to hear Ellen speak, like, yeah. Number 10, depending on the subject matter, they can be really boring. We all know this is true. If you're a college student and you're going to one of these leadership events, or they always have a sexy name for it, but it's almost always boring, folks. It just is. 10 things. Like I said, not all of them are boring. Not all of them are like this, but for the most part, they almost always are like this. And yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys about that. If you like what I had to say, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what your college experience was in terms of going to these conferences, these leadership conferences. So yeah, bye.